I'll continue this. Yeah. Yeah. Okay, maybe I can start balancing this again. I can't seem to balance it very well. Okay. Vilcarnon, and the details fit. Alexander or King Cyrus. B. 5. Again, story of that verse, and it's about the adultery people. So don't keep repeating them. And why is it called the gospel? Why is it called gospel, a Greek word? Your church says lies. I don't have to believe it. Your own scholars says Jesus spoke Aramaic, not Greek. So find Jesus' exact words, not translations. I'm sorry, I am sleepy. It's 12:30. I can't reply to all. And you are just repeating the same things. I have no idea what you're talking about. I'm not a member of any church. All I know is that I have just discovered that when Muslims say Quran 96 really means clinging leech-like substance, they are lying. For I discovered Sahih, authentic Muslim Hadith, book 33, number 6590, 6390, saying, the constituents of any of one of you collected for 40 days in his mother's womb is in the form of blood, after which it becomes a clot of blood in another period of 40 days. And guess what? An embryo is never a blood clot, not even for 40 seconds. Not even for 40 seconds. The hadith, as I said, doesn't contradict the verse. Aren't you supposed to do taqiyya, lie for Allah, and say that Sahih, authentic Muslim hadith, is actually not Sahih, but daif, weak, fabricated, or some Jews paid Mr. Muslim money to say an embryo is a clot of blood for 40 days just to make Islam laughable, and even though it's Sahih, it actually isn't Sahih here? The verse is clear. Now, that's brave of you to admit that. And was proven by science, not by me. Where and when did science ever prove that embryos go through a blood clot stage? That is 40 days long. Where and when? You sure it's not the science of caveman times? So, who are you to tell me you knows better than me? If you believe that the hadith is right about embryos being blood clots for 40 friggin' days, I'd say most know better than you because, well, again, you do know what a blood clot, you do know what a blood clot is, don't you? The Arabic word can mean leech, so it is. Like the Arabic can mean earth is shaped like an ostrich egg. Well, if that is so, how come Sahih, authentic Muslim, book 33, blew it so much, going beyond just saying it's a blood clot, but saying it's a blood clot for 40 friggin' days? How come? Again, the hadith is misunderstood. Misunderstood? What part of the constituents of one of you are collected for 40 days in his mother's womb in the form of blood, after which it becomes a clot of blood in another period of 40 days? What part of that do you not understand? I mean, really, what part of the constituents of one of you are collected for 40 days in his mother's womb in the form of blood, after which it becomes a clot of blood in another period of 40 days? Yeah. What do you not understand here? What is there to misunderstand here? What? And it's saying in that 40 days, so not 40 plus 40 plus 40. Oh. So somewhere, after 40 days of being blood, it then becomes a blood clot. Really? Wow. When is an embryo even just blood? Never. And Mo said it was blood for 40 days. And then you say after 40 days it will be in another 40 days become a blood clot. You've got to be joking. But all these stages are in the same 40. Really? How do you get that with the constituents of one of you is collected for 40 days in his mother's womb in the form of blood? After. Did you get that? After? What comes to your mind when you read here or see after? After which it becomes a clot of blood in another period of 40 days. So somewhere in 41 or 79 days, meaning that it's between 40 days, that blood will become a blood clot? Really? Man. Then it becomes a lump of flesh, and 40 days later, what was that? 40 days later, right, 40 days later, after being a blood clot. Allah sends his angel, as it says, blah, 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 and gives the Arabic, yeah. Which means in that, which goes back to the 40 days. I don't care if it goes back to 40 seconds. An embryo is never a blood clot, and never a blood clot. Ever. Man. How much time do I have left? I've got time. Got time. Listen, man, I'm not a doc, and I don't know these things. You don't have to be a doctor. All you have to know is that an embryo is never as the Quran and Sahih, authentic Muslim, book 33. And I discovered later on other Sahih Muslims, other Sahih Hadiths. Yeah. All you have to know is that an embryo is never, as the Quran and Sahih, authentic Muslim have it, blood clot. For a blood clot is dead and useless blood. It'll make good fertilizer for growing plants, though, I must admit. What I know is no contradiction between the verse and the hadith. Thanks for admitting that. However, for you admitting that, you damn the credibility of the Quran, for again, a blood clot is never an embryo, and vice versa. Not even for 40 seconds, if anyone is alive. Because hadith as misunderstood. So again, what part of the constituents of one of you are collected for 40 days in his mother's womb in the form of blood, after which it becomes a blood clot, a clot of blood in another period of 40 days? What is there to misunderstand? I mean, really, what part of, I hit him again with that thing, do you not understand? What is there to misunderstand? What? Because of the translations and the language, it's said that so people didn't know what in that is going back to 40 days or what? If so, then how come so many Sunni Muslim websites of Sahih, authentic Muslim book 33, number 6590, I think it's 6390, but 6590, have it as the constituents of one of you? I get him again with that thing, 40 days, blood clot, 40 days, How come? Did those evil Jews pay the Sunni Muslims to have it that way, to make Muhammad sound like a scientist of caveman times? Well, so I have searched, and it's not contradiction with the verse. Well, again, thanks for admitting that. However, for admitting that, you damn the credibility of the Quran. For again, an embryo is never a blood clot, not even for 40 seconds. You want to learn Arabic, then welcome, or else you can't teach me on my own. I tell you what, you tell me where to go on the net that has Sahih Muslim book 33 on the net. You copy and paste that and put it here so I can see it if it matches with where you sent me. Then I'll put it through Google Translate for all to see, to observe for myself if all these Sunni Muslims are wrong in their having Sahih Muslim as the constituents of one of you are collected for 40 days in his mother's womb in the form of blood, after which it becomes a clot of blood in another period of 40 days. Okay? So 40 days doesn't mean blood clot only. Doesn't mean blood only. Well, again, If so, then you tell me where to go on the net that has Sahih Muslim Book 33 on the net. You copy and paste that and put it here. So I can see if it matches with where you sent me. And I'll put it through, and I say the exact same thing, you know. And the verse has proven as correct by science as I did show. You showed me nothing. All you showed me, some guy is trying to say the Quran means it's like a clot, or like a clinging leech, or a clinging substance. But as you said, the Sahih that says 40 days as a blood clot doesn't say like. It says the constituents of one of you are collected for 4 days in the mother's womb in the form of blood, after which it becomes a clot of blood in another period of fluid. No mention of like. Becomes. And you can watch the debate between Zakir Naik and Dr. William as he tried to do as you claim and prove Quran wasn't correct, but he couldn't. Couldn't prove what? That it's like, or as Sahih Muslim Book 33 has it, becomes a clot of blood in another period of 40 days. Again, where is, and there's no place where it says like a blood clot, like in the title of Surah 96. It doesn't say like the clot, it says the clot. It doesn't say like the clot, it says the clot. He show an image from the other side to show Quran is wrong. And he show an image from the other side to show Quran is wrong. You can read more here. I didn't read it because I'm a little busy, but they answer your claims. And he shows me answering Christianity. I go, well, check it out. Okay? Still, though, if it says like a leech instead of how Sahih Muslim has it, I'll know the guy is lying, doing taqiyya. And anyway, if you don't like that, then you still have the expanding universe and talking ants and many more. How many you can reject? Oh, I believe ants talk through chemical orders, but I don't believe they talked with Solomon, like the Quran says. For how did the ants know who Solomon was? King Solomon. And what is the odor or of an ant that spells out Solomon for an ant to know it's Solomon? What are the chemical combinations to spell out to an ant? Oh, ants, enter your dwellings, that you may not be crushed by Solomon and the soldiers while they proceed not. By the way, the ant says, oh, ants. It says, oh, ants. I thought saying oh before a name or a subject was an Allah thing to do. Is this an admission that ants are like Allah? I think I'll quit it here. Yeah, oh yeah, I better stop it here. Bye. Oh, it's still going.